Welcome once again as we correct more binary BS on Clickbait Corrected. I am, as always, Warren Peace, your digital host with the toast. We kick off with notorious clickbait artist Hannah Austin, who hooks us in with the questioning headline, "Who do you think keeps patients alive better, men or women doctors?" Saving you the super scroll on ViralNova, I can confirm the answer is women. According to the studies cited in the article, 32,000 lives a year would be saved if male doctors practiced in the same way female ones do. Now, we will admit this sounds like soft clickbait, but Hannah Austin goes further by having this sentence 2 paragraphs in. So which gender had more patients that died or needed to be readmitted to the hospital after release? The answer might surprise you. The answer might surprise you is a go-to card in the clickbait deck, usually reserved for headlines, but the use of this in mid-article seems to imply that the author knows people will click away so quickly that they need an additional clickbait hook to keep them in there. And of course, in true clickbait style, the following paragraph still evades answering the question. You will have to get 5 paragraphs in before you would get your answer. Once again, Hannah Austin and ViralNova bear the baiter's shame. And really, do you not think the real story here is the way in which male doctors are practicing causes 32,000 more deaths a year than are necessary? Perhaps the headline should have been, "Male doctors cause 32,000 unnecessary deaths per year." And that would have been, as well as of course accurate, also quite an important story, I feel. But then here at Clickbait Corrected, we do tend to be biased towards the things that actually matter. Next up, Tanveer Man at Metro brought out the bait with a headline claiming a UK woman said she could not get a job because she was too beautiful. In reality, Marie Buchanan said she cannot get her dream job as a mechanic because of sexism in that industry. Now, these are two very different things, much like headlines and truth. But maybe the latter issue deserves greater focus. Women face workplace discrimination on a daily basis across the world, and they should not. When it happens, journalists like Tanveer Man could try giving those people a voice, instead of tearing them down to fulfill the benefit-hungry monsters storyline. How about woman reveals inherent discrimination in automotive industry? Also think of the effect your clickbait could have on those you write about. It is not hard to imagine Marie Buchanan now faces ridicule, and her hopes of getting a job have decreased even further. Tanveer Man, Metro, with great press comes great responsibility. Ditch the bait. Agamoni Ghosh at MSN brought out the misleading headline, "Airbnb offers free accommodation to those affected by Trump's travel ban." It incorrectly implies that Airbnb as a company were providing this service and covering the cost, when rather they were encouraging their hosts to do so. An incredibly thoughtful act and a very commendable one, but let us just ensure that credit lands where it is due, with the people who actually do things and who do not just ask others to step up. Also, try and fit in those pesky facts. It is not unachievable. Airbnb hosts offer free accommodation to those affected by Trump's travel ban. See? Done. Clean up that clickbait, MSN. You also, Agamoni Ghosh. Sticking with the Twitter President Trump theme, Todd Starnes at Townhall used the headline, "Was Duck Dynasty responsible for Trump's victory?" So is that true? Well, no. Duck Dynasty's peak viewership was around 8 million. More recently, it's somewhere between 2 and 3. Just over 65 million people voted for Clinton and around 63 for Trump. You will notice that the numbers 65 and 63 are much larger than the numbers 2 and 3. I mean, even Hawking himself could not make this math work. There's a lot more at play here, many more factors perhaps than just a TV show. So why did Starnes opt for such a clickbaity headline. The clue comes in about the 8th paragraph when Starn says, "I write extensively about this cultural and political divide in my new book." So his clickbait headline is luring readers in as a way to plug a book. Is this a case of using a popular TV show combined with clickbait to plug a book? As always, we shall leave the ethics to you. But Todd Starnes at Townhall, consider your clickbait corrected. A clickbait meme has been discovered that incorrectly compares the past with the future. Where to begin with this clickbait-tastic, inaccurate, fantastic meme? As always, it is difficult to track down the culprit behind a meme, but this one was cited over at the website Memes. It is another of the old person yells at cloud things were much better back in my day series and makes several incorrect assumptions about photography pre and post the smartphone. Firstly, it claims film cameras could take 24 photos. This is untrue. Some could in fact take 36. Next up, pictures you develop, a very misleading term because you do not develop the pictures from a smartphone, you print them. And last but not least, it tells us that in this hard 21st century world, none of us have the time to even look at any of the photographs that we take. We all know this is untrue. Whether we admit it or not, we have all seen someone look at a picture taken by a digital device, or even perhaps looked at one ourselves. This clickbait-fueled meme is trying to use inaccuracy to drive a wedge between the generations. Yelling at clouds is supposed to be a joke, not a lifestyle choice. Finally, in a welcome change of pace, we have a clickbait-laced YouTube video. YouTube channel Top 10s have a video covering 10 people who claim to be time travelers, yet in only 6 of the examples is this true. Simon Whistler began the list with Father Pellegrino Ornetti, who claimed to have invented a machine to view time, not travel through it, and he would not let anyone see this machine, so therefore it was a lie. Next up is Billy Meyer. He claimed to have met aliens, not travel in time. Then in 8th, Jack Valet, who by the show's own admission hasn't ever said he's travelled in time, only seen a few UFOs from a distance that may perhaps have done so. Finally, for numbers 7 up to 3, we get some genuine tales of supposed time travellers, with 2 sisters claiming to have woken up 200 years in the past, hung about for a bit, and then returned, and a bloke called John who claimed to be from the year 2036, which seems legit. Most bizarrely of all are the top 2 contenders. In second place, Dr. Ronald Mallet, a scientist who claims that for $250,000 he could build a time machine, so at most we can call him a time traveller in waiting. And most bizarrely of all is topping the list, Dr. Stephen freaking Hawking. Now, anyone who knows everyone knows he only has said it is theoretically possible to have travelled in time, not that he's ever actually done so himself. This is a horrific example of clickbait and perhaps more justly called viewbait. Someone has to stop it, and that person is everyone. Our time together is once more drawing to a close. 6 more suspects have been tried in the court of clickbait, and the online world is a slightly baiterless place. Join me again, and if you encounter any clickbait in your travels, send it to bait@clickbaitcorrected.com. Or of course through the Book of Faces and Twitter as well. Do not forget, shares save lives, comments can change the world, and only those who subscribe survive. This is War and Peace for Clickbait Corrected, signing off.
Clickbait Corrected.